chats with Deep. Going deep, chatting JT.
Before we start the show, I want to give a huge thank you to DraftKings. Thank you, DraftKings, for supporting Going Deep with Chad and JT. Guys, football is back, and it is time to celebrate. So download the DraftKings app now and use code DEEP. For a limited time, new users can get a free shot at the $1 million top prize and compete for over $8 million in prizes all across contests. Yeah, thank you, DraftKings. What up, dudes? Before we begin this podcast, I want to give a big shout out today to Helix Sleep. They're the best mattresses. Take their 2-minute sleep quiz, and they'll match you to a mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. So find your perfect mattress at helixsleep.com/go deep.
Roll it.
All right. What's up, guys? This is Chad Kroger coming in with the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. Guys, before we begin, I'll remind you once again that we are brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pubed, for looking after our hogs, for making sure that our dongs are looking fresh and clean, because fall is just right around the corner and you got to start looking fresh. I don't know if you have maybe like a Halloween party coming up and you got to make sure those pubes are in line and in control. So use code GODEEP20 at manscaped.com for 20% off your order. And I'm here with my compadre, Jean Thomas. What up?
What up, Stokers? Boom clap.
And we're here with legendary comic Jo Koy. Welcome to the show.
Clean pubes.
Yeah,
Do
do
you
you
have clean
manscape?
pubes?
100%. Keep it very Manscaped, by the way. Can I just give Manscaped a shout out too?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
One thing I love about Manscaped, they are the reason why a lot of podcasts exist.
Right.
So really, shout out to Manscaped for real. My
And
son's
they're
a
why a lot of
teenager
clean
and he is cleaned up. So
Nice.
yeah,
That's good stuff.
That's good.
Yeah.
You raised him well.
yeah, for sure.
So what do you think about this mass exodus of comedians taking off from Los Angeles? Are you sticking around?
I got to. You know what I mean? Should we wait for the sirens to go, or do you want to keep that in the pod?
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Is it? Culver City is on lockdown.
Yeah, it keeps going.
God, they are going
Yeah.
there. It's crazy in Culver City,
Something's going on at Sony.
right? Yeah, it's gone now. I have a house in Vegas as well, so I've been there a lot, and
You grew up there as well, right?
yeah, that's where I started my stand-up career.
That must
And,
have been crazy.
Yeah, because you got to remember, I started stand-up in '89, and there was no scene. There was no scene, and we're you got to remember '89. The only brand new casino was the Wynn.
Caesars?
Was Mirage by Wynn. Steve
nice.
Wynn dumped a lot of money into the Mirage, and that was it. Old Las Vegas was still there. Stardust, Dunes, everything. So it was very headline room. There was no like open mic or anything like that. So it was
What did
hard
you
to get
think-
stage time.
What did you think of Vegas when it went more like family friendly in the 90s?
Loved it.
Oh, you did?
Oh, I loved it, man. I was so you got to remember, I'm from Seattle, Washington. It rained all day. I stayed inside all the time. So when I came to Vegas, I was out 23 hours of the day. I was just getting all the sun that I was neglected.
That's awesome.
And then on top of that, late night eating, and just everyone had a $1.99 steak and eggs, and then the Mirage open, Treasure Island open, Excalibur open. It was like this big theme park for adults, and I was just I was like 18, 19, 20. I was loving life, man.
Did you watch big comedians out there?
Yeah, I saw George Carlin, and this is back when you still had the what are they called? Ushers, Mater D's, whatever the old school guys with the suits.
Maitre D's.
Mater D's, and they would go, and it was me
Yeah.
and my
Good
dad.
comments, dog.
Yeah, and my dad. I remember we got tickets to Carlin at the Bally's Hotel, and my dad, he had 320s. My dad had 320s. He goes, "Watch, I'm gonna get us down close." Like this was a game that they played back then.
Right.
You couldn't just get assigned seating. My dad made sure to have 320s because he was gonna get his son close to Carlin. And literally, the guy did exactly what the fuck he always does. He sat us in the corner by the fire exit. My dad slipped him a 20. He's like, hey, come on, it's my son's, my son loves Carlin. He wants to see him. Oh, yeah, let me see. He's looking around. All right, let me see what I can do. And he walked us a little bit closer. My dad slips him another 20. Is there any way? Oh, 1 second. Let me see what let me ask somebody. Gets a little closer, gives him $60. So it was like $60 to sit like dead center, middle
That's
section.
awesome.
Yeah, but it was
best.
Carlin, man.
Yeah.
It was fucking classic Carlin, man. Someone heckled him and he got mad. And, I got to see, that was my first time actually seeing a headliner like that. I was still like 16 I was like 17, 18. So it was amazing to see that.
That's awesome.
cool. That reminds me of in Vegas, the $20 sandwich tip. Have you heard about that?
No, tell me.
So it's like if you go to a hotel and you're checking in the hotel, you put a 20 in between your ID and your credit card, so you get an upgrade on the room.
Yes,
Wait,
that's right. I forgot about that.
And it works.
Yeah, that was a big thing back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was heavy, man. Yeah, I remember, when Mirage's big thing was the valet and baggage, right? And those cats were raking in six figures, man. And you got to remember, those kids were my age. You know what I mean? Like 21, 22. They're buying houses. They got boats. And I was like, what the fuck? And I'm trying to be a comic. Like, what?
Yeah.
And I remember my mom was friends with a lady, and her son was the head valet because Mirage was just so big. Everyone was trying to be a valet attendant at the Mirage. So even to get an interview was huge. And I remember I got the interview, and the guy offered me a job only because my mom knew his mom. And he goes, look, I'm fully booked. I got my staff. My mom is friends with your mom. I will just try and work you in. I'll give you like a couple days a week. You know what I mean? I'll give you it'll be like graveyard on a Friday and then like maybe a Tuesday, but at least you'll be in. And if someone eventually quits or gets fired, you get to move up. He goes, it's a great chance to be a valet attendant. And then I said no. It was the craziest shit, man. And the reason why is because I knew I would get locked in. I knew I would be addicted to that money. I knew I probably wouldn't like go do gigs on the weekend. Oh, that's another thing he said. He was because I told him, I was like, I might catch gigs on the weekend. He's like, yeah, man, I really need you on the weekends. If I call you, you can't skip out. And I remember when he said that, I was like, dude, I'm going to quit anyway. So I might as well just not take the job. And I literally said no and became a dolphin habitat tour guide.
That's dope.
That's cool.
That sounds
At
like
the
a really
Mirage.
cool job.
Like I took that job over the valet job, and it was just mind blowing. I remember seeing him in the lunchroom at the Mirage, and he was just like, "You really said no? Like what the fuck?" But no one knew how badly I wanted to be a comic, and I knew that if I would have been a valet attendant, I'd probably still be a valet attendant to this day because the money was just so good, man.
Did you come to appreciate dolphins more or less because of that job?
You know what's funny about the dolphin habitat is it really helped me with my chops as far as like crowd work.
Right.
Like I was always on my chops, but I didn't know any of those fucking dolphins' names, man. There was 9 of them. There was 9 of them in that pool, and they were all gray, bro. And I literally would just make up names, or I'd use their real names but point at the wrong dolphin. I didn't give a shit, man. It was just like.
But the people listening wanted to believe that you had a relationship. Because I want to believe that.
They loved it, and they listened to everything I said. I gave a great tour, but literally it was just me getting in front of people, and it kept me on my toes, and that was my in.
How were you? How'd you get sets when you were starting out in Vegas? Like, how would you sort of?
There were no
finagle
sets,
the
man.
open mic scene. Yeah,
there was no open mic scene. There was literally a coffee house at the time. And then I met through that. I met this one girl that had an inn at a nightclub, and she was dating a club manager at Catch a Rising Star, and he came to pick her up at the end of the night, and he saw my set, and then that's how I got into the MGM as a feature, and he gave me a bunch of 2-for-1 tickets. And he was like, just hand them to your friends, whatever, as many as you want. I'll give you hundreds. Just fill the room. And I would give them out all to my friends. And then I noticed that the headliner wasn't even really bringing anybody. but everyone that was in the audience was there because of my 2-for-1s. So then I was like, well, fuck it. I might as well just rent a theater and just do 2-for-1s. And then that's how that all started. So I started renting out this theater, and that's how it all happened, man. It literally, there was no open mic scene at all.
Wow.
Like a coffee house, a nightclub. And then from there, I went to my own theater.
Yeah. That hustle in the beginning though even though it's tough, it seems like it's, for a lot of comics, they often say that those are some of the best times that they've had.
Oh yeah, I still remember. We just did a photo shoot. I have an interview with Variety, and it's about my whole career. And I was like, they wanted pictures, so I went out and took pictures at the Hunt Ridge, which is the theater I used to rent. It was in the worst area you could possibly imagine, man. It was on Maryland Parkway in Charleston. It's just like, it's crack center, you know what I mean?
Right.
But like,
Yeah.
I had to hire so much security just to watch cars in the lot. And I go to take pictures out front, and literally the owner walks up because they're selling the place. Like, the timing was so crazy because I had no idea how to get a hold of these people. And during my photo shoot, he walks up, he lets us in, and we do a whole spread on the inside of that theater. It's all run down and everything. But man, the minute I walked in, just all these memories of my mom sitting in the ticket booth and ripping tickets, and all these seats that I used to lay out, and just the color of the walls. I was like, oh my God, like everything came back, man. It was so cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That was 25 years ago, man.
Wow.
Yeah, time's weird.
Yeah.
I don't
Time is
like
weird.
thinking about it.
Went by so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you how long do you want to live forever?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
100%, bro.
Yeah.
But it'll last forever afterwards as well.
Oh, that's
So-
true. Yeah.
So as long, that was my biggest thing with my son is, when I was coming up in the beginning, especially in LA, he was young, so he wasn't getting it. Like, he didn't understand what dad was doing. And now that he's a teenager, he gets it and he loves it, and now,
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
and now I got to like leave something here, after I'm gone. Like, it's that legacy. It's like, that's what dad did. So if you want to live forever, then that's what you got to do. You got to build your legacy, man. You got to have a story to tell after you're gone.
Wow.
That's cool.
That's powerful.
Yeah, I like that.
And that's in everything. And by the way, that's everything, man. That has nothing to do with entertainment. That's anything. That's anything you do in life. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, you can leave that story. It's there.
No, I think
Just
about
make
it
sure
all the
that-
time. I was
man.
telling people today, I will pretend to be my friends giving a eulogy to me at my funeral.
Yeah.
And I'll make myself cry. Like, they'll be like, I'm like, he's like my friend. I'll be pretending to be my friend. They'll be like, oh, JT was one of a kind. I'm like, thanks, Brooks. And I'm like, but it's all,
I like Brooks too. I haven't even met him, but I like him, man.
he's a good dude. You'd like
He's a
knew
good guy.
Brooks- I had a feeling Brooks would say something like that.
yeah.
He's really
You
good
know,
at Call of Duty too.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, he's got a great
for
kid,
sure. Anyone
Yeah.
with the name Brooks is anything.
Yeah.
Brooks
Yeah.
is the leader of a country band. Brooks is the name of a fucking store that dresses men only. Like, Brooks is just Brooks.
That's
Yeah.
Brooks, dude. 100%.
100%. If you're
Yeah.
a Brooks, that's you. You're the leader.
Yeah.
Where are we going? I don't know. Brooks will tell us. Brooks
It
has
commands
something planned.
respect. Yeah. But Joe, so why do you think everyone's leaving LA? Do you have like a take on that?
Have you seen it?
Yeah. No, I know.
I don't know if you
I'm
remember the beginning of this pod, but there was 15 fucking cop cars outside of
Yeah.
Dad's house.
Yeah, I bailed too. I've been in Orange County for the majority of, and now I'm thinking about moving to Marina Del Rey. So
I will say this, man. Orange County has been the leader of Southern California. I will say that much. You guys have been at the forefront of this movement. Does that make any sense? I feel like you guys were the first ones to open up.
right.
No, I'm being
Yeah.
serious. I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, OC was kind of like the first to do a lot of that stuff. I live right above Universal Studios. Shit is not moving.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's everything is still closed, and hey, I get it, but
I feel really guilty.
it's hard out here. It's hard.
I feel really guilty because I've been really pro mask and really pro social distancing, and then I went to an outdoor bar and like danced the other night.
Yeah.
For like 10 minutes, and after like 4 songs, I turned to my friend I was with and I was like, I feel terrible. I have to go home. I can't be doing this. But
Really?
like, I literally had to get it out. Yeah, I felt bad. Yeah, I still feel bad. I'm talking about it because I have like a need to confess.
Yeah. I mean, I feel bad too, but you know what? Man, that felt good, didn't it?
It did feel good to dance. I missed the
Yeah,
dance floor
man.
a lot. Yeah.
It's amazing how energy is appreciated when it's taken away from you. And how we didn't realize that human energy is real, that we are connected. Even though I don't know Chad or JT, there's something here. Even through Zoom, we got it. And that's that energy that we give one another.
Well,
in the
How when we're
airwaves.
physically in front of each other, it's even more powerful. It's nuts.
how have you dealt with that? With not having, I mean, you're playing like these huge theaters, and then all of a sudden, I mean, beyond the financial, how did you deal with, or how are you dealing with not having that energy interaction with having that outlet?
I mean, I'm using social media to pacify, you know what I mean? Or keep me, or keep in this relevance, I guess, right?
Right.
But as far as like the stage, that can never be replaced.
Mhm.
And that's my bloodline, man. Like that's my love, my passion. It's like,
yeah.
it's like taking a paintbrush away from a painter. It's like, you can't, the motherfucker's not going to go to the iPad and go, okay, here, this is the same thing. No, it's not. It's not the
Mhm.
same. Like the new norm is not the same. It's not. Like I refuse to do the drive-ins. I refuse to do the Zoom stand-up shows. There's nothing like being in front of a crowd of people and everybody just vibing. No one knows anybody. I don't know anybody in that room, and they don't know anybody in that room. But for 2 hours, we all know each other, and we're all laughing and enjoying each other's company. That's incredible, man.
Yeah. So you haven't done any shows
No,
since lockdown? Yeah.
nope, no. I don't want to either. I don't want to.
Yeah.
There's just something about, look, man, theater's been around since the beginning of humans. You know what I mean? As far as, you know, if there was humans involved, there was always one person that was the entertainer, whether it be caveman or whatever. I mean, we can go as far back as you want. You'll always see some type of venue or a coliseum or a theater.
Mhm.
It's just, it's in our blood. We have to have it. And
Yeah, I'm reading
this was not part of our life. This whole Zoom shit. You can't go back 300 years and see a computer with 3 screens on it and people talking. No, but you can
But
go
thank
back
God we do have
500
it
years
now.
and see a
Yeah.
fucking coliseum.
But dude,
Yeah,
I was reading about the plague in England. It lasted 40 years. So we might
Yeah.
we might be getting off easy. I'm sorry, Chad, what were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna say I tried to do a Zoom show because JT and I do stand up. We've been focusing on other stuff, but that was sort of where we started. And I did one Zoom show, and it was it was a soul crusher. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say that because
Yeah.
you're standing in your apartment alone, and you're just like, you know, you hear like faint laughs from the Zoom chat. And you're just
Yeah.
like, dude,
That's
so
brutal.
I know what you're saying because I had to like deny any other requests coming in because I'm like, I need to like maintain this love. And
Yeah,
I can't maintain the craft from my kitchen.
No. I love it when they're like, hey, Joe, you can do crowd work. No, you can't. You need a fucking crowd.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You're gonna be riffing
Wait,
off like the gallery
what
you
the-
do?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, nice books behind you, JT. What the fuck? What are you talking about?
And if you hurt a heckler's feelings, they just shut the computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just mute. Bye.
I was
No.
wondering, what's the most intense emotional response someone has had to your show? Like afterwards when you're meeting everyone,
Yeah.
what's like the biggest one you remember?
Oh man, there's so many. There's some where you just want to cry because you don't realize just what comedy is, you know? And yeah, I've had some where they came day of the funeral, whole family.
Whoa.
And the dad was the biggest fan. And that was the night that they were
Wow.
all supposed to come. That was the one where we all cried. You know what I mean? In the VIP line. And I'm getting a little teary right now, but it was
It's
just
pretty
like,
special.
yeah, it's and just like they were all like, we were gonna not go, and then we were like, no, Dad would hate that if we didn't go, and we came tonight. And I'm like, it's just like, It's amazing what laughter does, man. And
Did you like hug him and tell him you love him and all
oh
that
yeah, we
stuff?
all cried, man. It was crazy,
Yeah.
man. So it's just like, you know, and he was like a fan, like he's been to a lot of my shows, and they were showing pictures of me and him, and I was just, oh man. So yeah, that's beautiful when you know, like sometimes we forget that there's more to it than just I'll make you laugh. Good night. It's like it's more than that. It's like their escape. It's like it's their life. It's like this is what they look forward to. It's like, you know, like sometimes I forget, like when I'm going into a city, people were waiting 5 months to see me. You know what I mean? Like it was 5 months of their life. That's huge, you know? So like,
that probably makes you perform better too, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really, really crazy to see that.
Yeah.
And
What
then,
motivates you to do good?
I just love it, man. And I'm not scared. So I
You
enjoy.
never been scared?
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm scared that yeah, it won't be funny, but I think I've been blessed to know that everyone in the audience is there to see me. So I got that working for me. It's not like, you know, back in the day when I was traveling the circuit and it's just like, all right, no one's here to see me and I gotta win this crowd over.
Was that scary?
No, because I knew I was still gonna make them laugh, but I don't know. I've never been scared like that. I enjoy the silence sometimes. Like if I'm working on a new joke, I don't give a fuck. You know, like if it sucks, I'm like, all right, cool, let's move.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Why did I do that? My bad.
Yeah. So when you started building up a following and you had bigger and bigger shows,
yeah.
I mean, eventually, you know, you're doing like stadiums right now, and did you? So that pressure to deliver for fans never got to you?
No.
'Cause I feel like that's sort of a new kind of pressure that a lot of people maybe they don't expect when they rise.
I think what it is when you play like a big venue like that, it's like you gotta. So when you stand on stage, right, and you're playing like the improv, right, and it's like you can literally see the smile on the last person's face up against the wall in the back. You know what I mean? And you still have that connection. There's even a time where like when I'll talk, I'll look at that dude right in the eyes, or I'll look at that chick right in the eyes and smile, and she's way back there, and there's that connection. You know what I mean? And they'll feel it too. They'll feel it. But when you're playing 15, 18,000, right? Literally, you're seeing all these exits with people walking to the bathroom. You know what I mean? Like literally just silhouettes of people buying beer and walking to the bathroom, and just like it's just fucking chaos. There's still people sitting and watching and laughing, but you're getting distracted because you see people like literally walking the hallways. You know what I mean? And that's the only thing that you gotta like conquer. You just gotta like ignore it, and it's hard. You know what I mean? You're constantly looking at it like, fuck, like sit down, like you. But it's like, yeah. So that's like the only time where it's like you gotta like stay in that pocket and just keep going, and that's about the only. That's the only thing that I adjust to is when I see that stuff. You know. Did that make sense? Did I even need to say that?
Totally.
No,
yeah.
totally. Yeah.
I've seen with comedians too, when they're transitioning up the ladder and they're getting to play bigger rooms, that their joke writing can change too. Like they'll start writing for maybe jokes that entail more movement because it helps to like be a little bit, I don't know, because it's a bigger crowd. So maybe.
Well, yeah, that's very important, JT. Like, you know, think about it. You have to give off some type of energy when there's that many people, bro.
People. Yeah.
18,000.
Right.
Like, imagine that. All they got is the
too much.
It's like you're playing in you know, I'm playing in Chase Arena where the Golden State Warriors play. It's like you're like, what the fuck? Like you can't stand in the middle, bro. Let's like
you got to move.
You know what I mean? You have the luxury suites in between the two sections. So you have the 200 section, you know, mezzanine, and then you got suite 1, suite 2, suite 3, and then all of a sudden the 300 section up here by the roof. It's like, how do you control that? You know what I mean? It's like you can't just stand in one place. There's just too much shit and distraction. So you got to go back and forth and keep them moving. You got to keep them like
be dynamic.
going back and forth. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to. You gotta pace. You gotta look up. You gotta look up and connect and pretend you're connecting or something, man.
Yeah, like Chris
If you're
Rock,
just gonna play
he
straight like
stalks
this,
the
man,
stage.
people are done.
Yeah. And I saw Jerry Seinfeld at the Pantages, and I was really surprised at how much movement was involved.
It's
Like,
very
he was-
important.
He was walking up and down the stage and doing like the Rockettes, like leg movements, and I was like, "Whoa, this is full body."
yeah.
But I'm
gotta
just used
give it
to
to
open
'em.
mics with 6 people, where it's like incredibly.
yeah.
I mean, we do better shows, but that's where I practice. So
Yeah.
I always wonder. I'm like, if I did a special, would I just want to do it in front of 6 people in a closet?
That's
But-
funny, bro.
But
That's
it's probably-
funny.
But I do think the degree of difficulty with performing for 18,000 people, I can't even wrap my head around.
It's pretty crazy, man. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. The Forum was the most amazing in Inglewood.
Really?
I couldn't get over that. That was,
Yeah.
and then being able to bring my son on stage and hug him in front of all those people, it was just, man.
Oh, that's nice.
That's great.
And it
Is
was
he gonna
2
be a
shows. I
stand-up?
did 2 shows there, man. I sold out 2 at the Forum. And that was just,
Congrats.
fuck, man. Like, that was
Yeah.
that's that story I was talking about.
Yeah.
And hugging my son and being able to, when my son said, when I told the light guy to turn on all the house lights, my son goes, Dad, I got chills when I saw that. Because, when you're in there in the dark, you don't really know. And then when I turned the house lights on, my son saw everything
Yeah.
to the roof. And he was just like, Dad, I got chills. I couldn't believe what I saw. And it was just
That's
amazing to
awesome.
share that experience with my son.
Man, you
That's
guys
so
sound like you're
great.
really close. That's nice.
Yeah, it's great.
Is he going to be a stand-up?
I hope so. He's good, man.
Oh, really?
Really?
Oh, so
I
you're pushing
hope
him towards
so.
it. Interesting.
I'm not pushing him.
Oh,
but
right,
I was
but
in-
you encourage, right?
I took him to Malaysia, and I was about to go on stage, and I remember I go, Joe, do you want to go up real quick? And he looked at me, he goes, are you serious, Dad? And the way he said it, with the confidence that he did, I really thought he was going to go on stage, and I started getting hyped up, and he started walking toward the stage. I'm like, oh shit, it's about to happen. And
Yeah.
he was only 16 when that, or 15. He was 15 or 16. And I was just like, oh shit, this kid's about to go up. And then right at the last second, he goes, Dad, I have nothing to talk about. And then he talked himself out, which is fine. But just that moment when he said, like, you sure, Dad? I was like, oh shit, he's about to do it.
Yeah.
My heart started pounding, man. I was like, oh, I hope this happens. I would love to open for him.
Do you think he has that hunger inside him to
I don't know.
get on stage?
I don't know if he'll have that. You know what I mean? Like, his mommy is like, she's here with me now. She's in the other house, but she's great, and her and I, we, in the beginning, that's when that struggle was, and where we were burning DVDs, and she was helping me burn DVDs, and just so I can sell them for like $4 or $5 just to bring extra money home to get diapers for my son, and work 3 part-time jobs: Borders, Books, Nordstrom Rack, cleaning yachts on the weekend.
Damn.
Doing stage time at the Laugh Factory. Like, my son won't have to see that. I mean, he's kind of blessed. If he decides to do stand-up, he can just open for his dad. Like, there's no schmoozing and trying to get into certain clubs. And so, but I'd love to see him try, man. I would love it. Or at least act, because the kid he's amazing, man.
That's great.
Yeah, you guys remember Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr.
Dude, back-to-back home runs in the same game?
Back-to-back crush sets.
Crush sets!
Yeah.
Good reference, by the way.
Thank you.
Are you from Seattle?
No, I'm just a sports fan.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm from Tacoma, so Seattle's
Oh,
my
that's
home.
right. That's right. I was speaking to your roots. That's good.
That's why I shot my first Netflix special in Seattle. That was the whole reason for Live from Seattle, man. It was like, I gotta do this here.
Yeah.
Great comedians have come out of there. Great art.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
It's a good hub for art.
Mm-hmm.
What up, dudes? I'm interrupting this show again to tell you about another new sponsor of ours, DraftKings. DraftKings, what up, guys? Now is the time to celebrate. Football is back. JT's fantasy league his team is crushing hard and crushing strong. And I know that if he moves over to DraftKings, also, he's going to be fired up. Because DraftKings is a leader in one-day fantasy sports, and it's putting you in the center of this weekend's action with over $8 million up for grabs across all contest. And to kick off the season, DraftKings is giving new users a free shot at a $1 million top prize with your first deposit when you use code DEEP. That's DEEP. Yeah, it's 2 E's during sign up. Get in on the action now. Draft your lineup now and feel the sweat like you've never before. Every run, pass, catch means more with the DraftKings lineup. It's simple. Just pick your lineup, standard of the salary cap, see how your team stacks up against the competition, and you can win $1 million. That's the top prize, dudes. And DraftKings has paid out billions of dollars. Holy crap. To winners since 2012. So they know a thing or two about cold hard cash. That's right. So download the DraftKings app now and use code DEEP. For a limited time, new users get a free shot at the $1 million top prize and compete for over $8 million in prizes all across all contests. Don't miss this extra special week 1 bonus. Enter code DEEP to get a free shot at the $1 million top prize with your first deposit. That's code DEEP, only at DraftKings. Make it rain. Make it rain. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details. On to the next ad or back to the show. I'm not sure. Later. What up, dude? So I love sleep. I've learned to love sleep more and more as time has gone on. I love a good mattress, and that's where my dogs Helix Sleep come in, because I'm trying to get 7 to 8 hours of solid shut-eye so I can get up, hit the assault bike, do some squats, and then read. So guys, if you're looking for the perfect mattress, I want you guys to check out Helix Sleep, because they have this quiz. It takes just 2 minutes to complete, matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. And everybody's unique. Helix knows that, so they have several different mattress models to choose from. They have soft, medium, firm, mattresses that cool down, ones that are plus size if you're a plus size person. So what up? So get that Helix quiz, match your mattress, and get the best sleep of your life. Okay? And yeah, what up? So if you're looking for a mattress, take the quiz, order the mattress you're matched to, and the mattress comes right to your door, shipped for free. You don't ever need to go to a mattress store again. Helix is awesome. But don't take my word for it, guys. Helix was awarded the #1 best overall mattress pick of 2020 by GQ and Wired Magazine. So go to helixsleep.com/go-deep. Take the quiz. They'll match you to a customized mattress, and you'll get the best sleep of your life. And they also have a 10-year warranty, and you get to try it out for 100 nights, risk-free. So we'll even pick it up for you if you don't love it. That's pretty cool. So Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/go-deep. That is helixsleep.com/go-deep. All right, on to the next ad or back to the show. Guys, I'm interrupting this podcast to let you know once again that we are brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pubed, for looking after our hogs, for making sure that our dongs are looking fresh and clean. And that was JT sneezing because his pubes are in the air because he just shaved them. Yep. And do you have a moose near the caboose that needs to be tamed? I'm talking hairy, big, and needs some support. Thankfully, our sponsor today, Manscaped, has you covered to keep the hair looking nice and trimmed and feeling fully supported. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Beluga! Did you hear that? That's your moose asking for Manscaped. What? Yeah. I mean, Manscaped is the best. They got an engineering team on the case. They gave you the Lawnmower 3.0, which has a light ceramic blade so it won't nick your sack. You can see your dong clearly. You can see it in a nice, crisp, soft light that'll just make you really. Sometimes I just keep the light on it for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, I just like the bell end. Anyways, you can get the Perfect Package 3.0, which includes the Manscaped Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and the Crop Reviver Ball Toning Spray, both super practical, and they smell great too. Or you could get the Perfect Package Kit, 2 free gifts, the Shed Travel Bag, and the Manscaped Anti-Chafing Boxer Briefs. You get these cool boxer briefs. You can get crop cooling technology, waistband super elastic, and when your girl sees the logo, she knows you got trimmed pubes. Pair these boxer briefs with their pH balancing liquid products like the Crop Preserver, and you're ready for anything. So you need to try this out for yourself. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code GODEEP20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code GODEEP20 at manscaped.com. always use the right tools for the job. Back to the show. I was wondering, do you have a post-show ritual? Like, I like to get a McFlurry sometimes.
Oh, really? You're hilarious. I like to eat, so I don't really like to drink.
Right.
You know, I'm not young anymore. So my whole thing is late night diners that are like not Denny's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what about
So, and-
swingers? You go to swingers in
yeah.
LA?
All right, enough, you guys.
What?
I've been living here 20 years. Of
Oh,
course,
I'm
I know
sorry.
fucking swingers,
my bad,
JT.
my bad.
The worst fucking. That's like if I went. I love burgers. Hey man, you ever hear of In-N-Out?
Right. All right.
Delicious.
That's the spot I go to. Yeah, it's pretty good. That killed me when that place closed. That's when I was like, West Hollywood's different.
Oh,
now.
I know. I saw that. I was driving down. I saw it closed. That was my
Right.
son's favorite place too.
Yeah.
No, but I'm talking like East Coast diners, man, where it almost looks like it's being used for money laundering. You know what I mean? It's just got like
Oh, yeah.
massive
dicey.
desserts. Yeah, it's dicey. There's a lot of lights everywhere. It looks like
Some
old Las
character.
Vegas. You know what I mean? There's an Italian guy at. He's walking up like, hey, you want pie? What is it? You know, like
Yeah.
I like that spot. And it's got
That's
like this
nice.
extensive menu that's got like 9 pages. That's what I like. I like
I
those
heard
kind of
Brian
diners.
Regan. I heard
Ooh.
Brian Regan after a set drinks a pot of coffee
Ooh, that's good.
before he goes to bed.
A full
That's-
pot?
Like
Ooh, that's
or
good.
maybe the comedian who was making fun of him was being hyperbolic, but he's like, Brian after shows goes back to his hotel room at like 10:30, 11 at night and just
That's
drinks
funny.
cups of coffee before sleep.
That's funny. I saw Brian Regan, 1990, at the Riviera. Was it Riviera? The Riviera Improv? No. Harrah's Improv in Las Vegas. The Harrah's Improv. And I waited. First of all, you got to remember, this is before anyone really knew who Brian Regan was. But like, you know what I mean? He was sold out, but I don't think people really knew who they were going to see. They were
Yeah.
really there for the improv.
Right.
Bro, I got there before the fucking line started. I stood in line for an hour. I was with my friend. And I was that annoying ass fan, man. I was that fucking guy. You know, and this is before I really knew what a headliner was. I just knew I loved stand-up and I was doing open mics, but I didn't know what an annoying fan was. And I was that fan, man.
Why? What were you doing?
Oh, yelling out all his goddamn punchlines.
Oh,
I
Oh,
was-
you were?
Oh, like
Really?
I was a fucking asshole, dude.
Really?
But you got to
No.
remember, Brian Regan has like 900 sets. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right.
So it's like, and all of them clean, hour tight,
Mm-hmm.
gut busting, like, you know, double over, applaud break every 5 minutes, every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, me and Chris were dying laughing, but we're like, this fucker hasn't done Science Project. This fucker hasn't done Cup of Dirt yet. What about Donut
Yeah.
Lady? And I'm talking like, we're talking about an hour into his set, right? And I look at my friend and I'm like, bro, I'm going to yell Cup of Dirt. I yelled Cup of Dirt, man. And I go, Cup of Dirt. Like, because there was like this moment where he was quiet. He was thinking about what bit. And I go,
Yeah.
Cup of Dirt. I went like that, like an asshole. And he goes, oh, okay. How am I gonna start a bit where it doesn't sound like the punchline was just yelled out from the middle of the crowd? You guys remember Science Projects? And then they're 1990,
beast.
bro. 1990, man. I remember when I got my MySpace page and it says, "Who would you like to meet?" And I wrote Brian Regan. I
He
still
is-
haven't met the guy.
One of the greatest.
You haven't met him?
No,
Yeah.
not yet.
Oh, really?
Uh,
That surprises me.
I will though.
Are you gonna tell him that story?
Oh, of course. Of
You're like,
course.
you're like, you heard the guy in '90 at Harris.
Yeah.
Yeah, he remembers.
And
you.
he
He's
hung
like, get
out
away
at the
from me, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And he hung out at the bar because we went to the late show, so it was his last show, and he hung out at the bar. I don't think he drank. I don't think he did, but he was just hanging out. You know what I mean? People were talking to him, and me and my friend walked up to him, and we were like, "Hey, we were the ones yelling. That was us. You're welcome." Like,
thinking it was
and he's
cool.
just like,
Yeah.
He had that look, like, "Oh, go fuck yourself, man." Like,
Yeah.
but it was great.
That's
That was
awesome.
gret, man.
So when did you move to LA?
I moved to LA in 2002.
So when you came to LA and you were starting at the factory, was like Dane Cook was the biggest comedian in the world at that time?
Dane Cook, by the way, Dane Cook was huge.
Right.
So if you weren't in LA and you weren't here when Dane Cook took the scene, it's unlike anything you've ever fucking seen.
Right.
And I say this all the time, and I was blessed. to get into the Laugh Factory. By the way, it was a motherfucker to get into that Laugh Factory. You know what I mean? Ralphie May is the only reason why I got into that Laugh Factory, because I kept doing the theme show. There was an Asian invasion show. There was Refried Fridays or some shit like that. It was like they were all themed. You know what I mean? It's like College Thursdays with Jay Davis or Ben Glebe would have a show. And I knew these guys and they would put me on, but Jamie Masada would never watch me. Even when I would crush, and I could see Jamie in the back wearing that leather jacket that he always wore. And I could tell he's watching my set. And then at the end of the set, he'd be like, "Oh, I didn't see you, buddy. Sorry. Maybe next time." And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I crush. Like, please. And all the time. It was like clockwork. "Hey, buddy, no, I did not see you. Sorry. I saw you on stage, but someone was talking to me about it. So I did not hear anything about it." Like, fuck. And then one day, it was like a Wednesday or some shit. And Ralphie was on the same show with me. And he's seen me before Ralphie did. And then Ralphie just walked up and he goes, "Hey, man, has Jamie seen you?" I'm like, "No, not yet." He's like, "That motherfucker needs to see you. I'll make sure he's going to see you." And he literally got Jamie to watch me. And then at the end, he made me walk up to Jamie and he goes, "Stop acting like you didn't see him, Jamie. You saw him tonight. Put this motherfucker on. He needs to be on the weekend shows." And I don't know why my Ralphie May sounds like Chris Tucker, but
I love it though.
But I love Ralphie May, man. I say it, you know, before he passed, I used to say it to him all the time. I go, I can't thank you enough, man. Like, God bless you. Thank you so much. And I've always told his story that if it wasn't for Ralphie, I was struggling, bro. I was broke. I had a little kid. You know what I mean? I'm working at Nordstrom Rack. I needed someone in LA to see me, and Ralphie made sure that happened. So thank God. And I got in right in that time, and Jamie went ahead and signed me as a manager. And literally, I didn't need to work any other club. I didn't need to go to the Improv. I didn't have to go to the store or anything like that, because I was doing the Laugh Factory 7 days a week. Literally, I would go up 7 days a week. And yeah, I was part of that. I was part of that whole day. Like, if you would have seen it, man, it was crazy. It was crazy. Was it like? It was, let's just say it was to capacity every show. There were times where I thought the roof should have fell. Right. And I'm not even trying to be funny, man.
It was like rock star stuff.
It was, bro, like, you know, there's standing room only, right? And then he would put another row of standing room only wrapped around that balcony. And that balcony is only supposed to sit maybe 60 people, maybe. And he must have had at least 100, 150 out there. For sure. For sure, man. It was so packed. And just the energy when you would walk in. And that's the balcony, by the way. We're not even talking about downstairs. And just the energy when you walked in, you just felt it. There was just this energy of people waiting in line, and they're finally inside. And, you know, they came all over the country to see. And, man, those were days.
What do you think it was about Dane that made him so magnetic to so many people?
It was young. It was young. It was new. You know, like I said, man, like, you know, when I went to go see Brian Regan in 1990, there weren't 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds going to watch that show. I felt like I was the youngest one in there. And I think I was like, what was I, like 19? In 1990, I was 19. So, like, I felt like young. I remember when I went to watch Chris Rock at the Riviera at the, oh, man, where was it? Anyways, it was somewhere. It was the Riviera Comedy Stop or something like that. And Steve Sciarippa used to book it. A lot of people don't know that Steve Sciarippa was a comedy booker before he became a soprano.
Yeah. And, I love that
is that true?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I used to call Steve Sciarippa all the time with a fake name.
Is that Bobby Bakalov or is it?
No, Steve, yeah. And I would call Sciarippa all the time because he was the only comedy club guy that would answer in Vegas. And I would call him from 89 to like 91 or some shit. I'm like, "Hey, man, I do open mics. I haven't done open mics or anything." I was like, "Hey, I'm an open mic. I'm a local guy. I like to open up for any of your headliners." And he'd be like, "Hey, kid, go to LA, get some TV credits, get an agent, and have your agent call me. All right, buddy? That's the only way you're going to get in here." Because he recognized my voice. Right. And he was like,
really?
Yeah. And he was like, stop calling, man. Like, I would always change my name. I'm like, "Hey, my name is Joseph Herbert. My name is Herbert Joseph. My name is Glenn Joseph. And then finally, he was like, "Hey, kid, just move to LA, get your stage time, get some TV credits, get an agent. That's the only way you're gonna get in here, all right, kids? So, I don't mean to be mean, but that's how you got to do it." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you, sir." And I stopped calling him, but that was kind of like my push to get out to Vegas.
He beat Tony's ass in that fight. when they go to the lake house. He
Yeah.
really pulled through. I'm kind of obsessed with the way like.
Oh shit! I didn't even talk about the energy in the room, like the difference between, you know what I mean? That was that movement. It was that young movement. It was a new demo that wasn't really like into stand up. Like when I was a kid, bro, I went to see Eddie Murphy Raw live. I went to it live.
Wow.
I was 15 years old, and I used my mom's credit card. And this is before Ticketmaster. There was no internet, man. Like Ticketmaster used to be like, they would like sublet like areas inside department stores. Like, oh, where's Ticketmaster? Like, oh, it's in customer service in whatever, Nordstrom. And you'd have to go up there and there'd be a little booth that said Ticketmaster. And that's what I did. I bought my tickets on the phone. They didn't question me because I talk like my mom. You know what I mean? They wouldn't question an accent. Like, I'd like to get 2 tickets to Eddie Murphy comedy show, please. And they're not going to be like, oh, are you sure? Or is that your credit card? They fucking sold me the tickets, man. Next thing you know, my mom and I are driving to Tacoma, Washington, driving from Tacoma up to Seattle. 15, she's dropping me and my friend off to watch Eddie at the Coliseum.
That's incredible.
15.
Yeah,
so
there's some comparison there with those two in terms of just the impact that they had on the youth and making them turn out for stand-up.
Yeah, man.
And kind of like their rock starness.
Yeah, man. That was rock star. Everyone forgets how rock star Eddie Murphy was, man. Because I was in that Coliseum, and I remember.
Look at that the red leather. Was he wearing the red leather get up?
Driver gloves. He had driving gloves with a ring on top of the driver's glove.
I love it.
Leather, bro. Leather. Leather with no.
Me?
Yeah,
with
you
no.
can do it,
I'm working towards it.
Eddie wore leather with no cotton underneath to absorb the sweat. He gave 0 fucks. I can only imagine how hard. I can only imagine how hard it was to take that leather shit off his body at the end of the set. Yeah. It's kind of like a chamois when you clean a car and rinse it with that shit. That's what it felt like. He was a rock star, bro.
Yeah. I mean, he did music too. He did party all the time. He
did
tried
everything, man. That guy was amazing, and he's still amazing.
Jamie Foxx is like that. Like, Jamie Foxx is so talented. I don't think he could
100%.
He could make 30 bad movies in a row, and we'd all forgive him because he's such a ball of talent.
Has he made 30 bad movies? You better stop. You better fucking stop. The guy's a legend.
I don't mean it like that. I don't mean it like that. I just mean like he's so talented that whatever work he puts out, irrespective of how we perceive that, we still love him.
Yeah,
like,
you better rephrase that.
I'm
JT.
walking it back big time.
I'm
a huge Jamie Foxx guy.
Jamie is fucking amazing, man. From singing to have you his impersonations. Like there's only
his Doc Rivers is incredible.
His Chappelle too.
His anything. He could do anything. He could sound like you if he wanted to. He's that good. There's only 3 guys that I think that are like knock out the park impersonators, and it's Jay Farrell, first of all. Eddie Murphy is ridiculous, man. Ridiculous.
Dana Carvey?
Dana's beautiful.
His are good. He gets to the weirdness.
Dana's beautiful. Yeah. I met Dana. Holy shit, that was amazing. I met Dana through John Lovitz. How fucking cool is that?
That's awesome.
Cool.
How fucking cool is that?
It is.
I'm opening for John Lovitz at Cobb's in San Francisco. This is about 14 years ago. And he's like, I have a guest that's going to come upstairs. Make sure you're ready. And I'm standing upstairs, and here comes Dana Carvey. I'm like, oh, it's 2 guys that I used to impersonate as a kid. And here I am. I'm opening for one, and I'm about to meet the other one. It was legend, man. It was so cool.
Dana used to, or I used to go to the gym that Dana Crunch in West Hollywood.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
No.
So I've seen him walk by, but I haven't talked to him. But I've seen him do lap pull down. He's doing lap pull downs.
Nice.
But he's
a strong guy.
He's a strong guy. And how did you get involved with Chelsea lately?
John Lovitz. John Lovitz had a show at the Laugh Factory every Wednesday night. And he was like, I have a friend named Chelsea Handler. She's hysterical. She's going to start opening the shows. I'm like, seriously? I never heard of her. No one has. Yeah. Like, she started coming up at the store. Yes, she's going to start coming up. She's so funny. And then she started coming around. She was opening up the shows. Oh, you know, another thing he said to me, he goes, I don't know who she is. Oh, go to my MySpace. She's my only friend. Aside from Tom. That's how he
Oh,
delivers
okay.
lines. He just stares at you. Aside from Tom.
He's got to be one of the funniest dudes
Oh, he's
on
fun.
earth.
He gets
He's
annoying,
great.
but he's fun.
Um,
You know you're good friends with someone when they call you, like John.
Yeah.
He'll call.
Yeah.
He'll always call me, and then I won't pick up.
Right. You just don't have the bandwidth for it at that moment. Yeah.
But he's fun.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
him to death, man. But I met Chelsea through John, and John was like, like you're gonna meet Chelsea. She's gonna start doing the show with us, and then she started doing the show, and it was so much fun because he'd be up there for an hour and 15 minutes, and her and I would just go back and forth at it. We would just make each other laugh, and then she was just like, "Hey, I got this show idea, and I want you to be my sidekick." And basically, I was supposed to be Chewy. And I'll put you on, I'll do Man on the Street with you, and you'll be my sidekick on the panel, and blah blah blah. And we did a couple of meetings and stuff, and I said yeah. And then right around when we were about to start going forward on it, I just started thinking to myself, like, I don't want to be a sidekick. You know what I mean? I worked too hard to be a sidekick. I want to be Jo Koy, So I called her and I said no. I go, hey Chelsea, I'm going to go ahead and change my mind. I want to, pursue my own thing. And there's other stuff that I want to try and do. And she cursed me out, man. I wish I recorded it because it was
really?
classic. It was classic Chelsea, man. It was so good. Like, fuck
What'd she
you.
say?
Seriously? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to make the worst fucking decision. This is going to be the best fucking show. You're going to be sitting there wondering, oh, why did I fucking do that? Like, she was just cursing me out. That was a horrible impersonation of Chelsea. She'd be so much sharper, by the way. You know what I mean? And then, boom, she hangs up the phone. I just remember like, oh, fuck. And then I go to Nordstrom Rack. And then about 6 months later, Angie, my ex, she picks me up from Nordstrom Rack or something like that. And she's like watching Chelsea. She's like, have you ever heard of Chelsea Handler? I'm like, yeah. She used to open for us with John. And she's like, oh my God, I was watching her show. It's so fucking good. And I remember going home and watching it and just killing it. Like, oh, I made the worst decision of my life.
So did you call her
I
back?
could have been on that show. I could have been whatever. I could have been Chewy, whatever. And then, about 2 months later, she called me and she put me on the panel. And then after that, it was over with. I was on it every week with her. So I was on it so much that people thought that I was one of her writers. Like I literally I was on every Tuesday on the panel. And I always sat across from her because our banter was so good. But thank God for Chelsea, man, because that shit gave me this other demo that I didn't have. It was this other demographic that started filling up the seats in the comedy clubs. It was crazy.
What did she say to you when you came back on the show? Was she like, hey?
Oh, she was cool. Chelsea is just that. She says what's on her fucking mind, and then she's done. She'll rip you to shit, and then tomorrow it's a different thing because after that, if you can perform, it's good. If you can't perform, she'll let you know, or she won't let you know. She just won't bring you back.
Right.
And there were times where they introduced new people on the panel, and like say it's me and Josh Wolf on the panel, and we would just look at the new person. And we're just like, oh, this is gonna be bad for this fucking person because we just know how Chelsea is. If she goes to you with a setup and you don't have anything, she was done with you.
Yeah.
And she was that quick to not use you, and everyone thought it was. It had nothing to do with us. The panel and the writers had nothing to do with who was on that panel. It was 100% Chelsea. And that's what made the show so good. She knew who she had the best chemistry with, and she knew who to banter with. And it was all organic, and it was a special show, man. It was like I always say it was the modern day Carson. Like when Carson waved you over to the desk, usually meant your career was going to take off. And that's how Chelsea was. If she kept you on that panel, things were going to look bright for you on the road. And that's what happened to a lot of us. So
wow.
I thank Chelsea a lot for that.
Nice. Should we answer some questions from our listeners? Chad, you want to?
Oh shit. Here we go.
You ready for this?
Hey, look.
You ready, bro? What's that?
Oh, whoa.
Is that an action figure of you?
That's my Funko Pop.
What is that?
Jokoy Funko Pop. Look at that
What's
shit.
the Funko? Wait, can we get you
That's
close to
awesome.
the mic? I'm sorry. I should have said that earlier.
Jokoy Funko Pop. Look at that, man. Is that cool or what, bro?
Yeah. Is that
That's
weird to
awesome.
see yourself as an action figure?
Bro, they own the company, but here's the thing, man. Funko Pop is like some pop culture shit. This is kind of like when I was a kid and collect baseball cards. That's the kind of level this shit is, man. These people are in love with it. It's amazing. So yeah, I got that Funko Pop. That's gonna be there forever. When I'm gone, this is gonna be in my son's house right there. That's my dad.
When did that come in?
About 2 weeks ago, man. We're almost sold out. How crazy is that?
Yeah. Wow.
It's nuts.
All right. You ready for some questions, Joe?
Let's go.
All right. We get deep.
Here we go.
What up, Stokers? So I broke up with my girlfriend, LDR, of 3 months about 2 weeks ago. She called it off due to some mental stress caused by some personal events that had carried out. I respected her decision and told her it was okay to take a break until she feels ready to continue. I'm totally chill with pausing the relation if that means the betterment of her mental health. We have been talking casually since then as friends up until a few days ago when she said, I'm sorry, but I don't think I can talk to you anymore. I can't handle upholding any relationship of friendship right now. This broke me as I truly love her, and having her completely disconnected from my life really dents the stoke tank. Again, I respected her decision and left her alone. She just moved into her college dorm to begin this semester, and I see her post on Instagram and Snapchat of her adventures and people she is hanging out with. You got to just block her. I am confused. That's me saying that. I am confused as to why she ended it with me, but kept up those friendships. She claimed it was not my fault for the breakup and simply just poor timing with everything that happened in her life at that time. So are those not real friends?
All right, but I'm gonna disagree with you, JT. He shouldn't block her. She should block him.
Right. Yeah, that would be nicer. Yeah.
Yeah, just block him. And sometimes you got to cut things off cold. And I understand he's listening. It's him that's talking.
Right.
And very young, if you said college dorm, my guy, you have 70 more years ahead of you. This isn't it. So slow down, bro. This isn't the only one. So, but then again, you're young, and that's what all you know is that. But unfortunately, man, she's not interested, and that's the cold truth. So she's on to her new life. She's living her college life, and now you get to take it as a blessing, man. You know what I mean?
Did you date a lot before getting married?
Yeah, but I wasn't good either, man. I'm just old now. I'm old and wise, and I'm in a secure place, so it's easy for me to say shit. It's easy for me to break up. Yeah. It's easy for me to break up and walk away as well, because there's more than just a relationship that needs to be secure.
What was hard about dating for you when you were young?
Oh, I was insecure because, I think a lot of comics are insecure.
For sure.
100%. We're all insecure. And if you don't say you're insecure, then you're insecure because you're lying. You know what I mean? Comics especially, there's some addiction that we have with instant gratification. We love to hear people respond to whatever we say. It's kind of like the crowd is telling us that we're great and we need to hear it instead of just knowing that we are,
Right.
And we get that through applause and laughter. And when we don't get that, we need it, unfortunately. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Oh,
yeah. So, yeah. And that's something that by the way, we don't need it all the time. What I'm saying is when we grow, you know what I mean? Like when I was a younger comic, I needed it a lot. Now I don't need it. I know that there's other things that make me feel good. And there's other things that are very important to me, like my son, making my son happy and making my son proud, or, being a father. That's important.
For me, it's
there's a lot of things that fall in line before a relationship. You know what I mean? There's so many more priorities that I need to be responsible for than to maintain a relationship. If the other person is not interested, it's easy for me to go, yeah, you're right. Take care. Like I can really walk away that quick. It's kind of like De Niro in you remember that movie that De Niro was in? He was like, you got to be able to walk away in 5 seconds. Bro, that's so true.
You feel the heat coming around the corner.
Yeah, it was heat, right?
Yeah, heat.
But in the end, he goes back for the girl. He
does go back. He does.
And that's what gets him fucking capped in the airport hangar.
There you go. The motherfucker should have walked. Kind of like this guy that just sent you that message.
Right.
Well, when do you think you reach that point where you're able to cut off relationships easily? Like
it happened kind of fast.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It was like it started getting easier for me. I started really prioritizing when my son was born.
Right.
So it's like I would get into these relationships, but the minute that there was some type of friction or something that got in between me being a parent and maintaining a relationship, parent always won first. And it's a little selfish, but oh well, man. I can have a million relationships, but I can only be a father once. So, and don't get me wrong, I fucked up a lot. I don't want you to think I'm some kind of guru. Yeah, I fucked up. There's a lot of relationships I was in that I shouldn't have been in, and there was a lot of, but you know what I mean? Like I said, there's that insecurity again, right? So
yeah,
we all have to deal with it. We just got to be able to identify with it. And
it's hard to be alone.
Dude, that was so good for you to say that, JT, because that's the part. That's the hard part. And sometimes and this is going to sound weird to say, but like some people just don't fall in love with themselves yet. And that's not, and I'm not trying to be creepy, but sometimes we like forget that, like, hey, I'm allowed to love myself.
Yeah, can you hang out with yourself?
Yeah, I need to hang out with myself, man.
Yeah.
What am I going to do for me today?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Treat
beautiful,
yourself,
dog.
bro.
You deserve it.
Yeah, man. I know
like a
that
friend
sounds
can
creepy.
tell you so easily, but to tell yourself is hard. If you're not getting that validation that amps up the ego, it's hard to do it when you're just sitting still.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, because I was told that by a therapist, you know, when I was like 23.
Yeah.
And he's like, you don't love yourself.
Oh,
like,
he
you
said that?
You have self-hatred. Yeah. And I was like, and I had no even at that age, I had no concept. I was like, what is self-love?
Yeah.
He's like, do you love yourself?
Yeah.
I'm like, I guess. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, but you know
Like,
what's crazy, Chad, is that you say that, but it is a weird thing to say. And it's a hard thing for you to accept. Like, even as right now, even though we understand it, like, even when you say it out loud, it still sounds wrong.
Yeah.
Like, love yourself. Like, what? Like, what are you talking about? That doesn't make sense. And
it's still tough to grasp. Yeah.
I don't think I'm supposed to do that.
Yeah. How do I do that?
Yeah.
I'm not used to that yet.
I think I was such a pleaser that I'm like, that's like, oh, I can't love myself. Like,
yeah. What are you talking about? I hate me.
That's not dignified. That's not manly to like love myself. I got to save my love for other people.
Yes, 100%.
But I like that this guy's feeling so much for this girl. I do appreciate this dude's romantic inclinations, but I think Joe's right that, look, this person is clearly not the person for you, and you're torturing yourself watching her having a good time. And I think it's true. It does have nothing to do with you. She just wants to be free, and unfortunately, that's coming at your expense. But you have.
I like how you said that, JT.
Thank you.
That torture is, a lot of people do that.
Oh,
I don't know if it's an addiction or what it is. Where hold on. She's on Snapchat real quick. Hold on, let me see. Like, dude, that's gut wrenching. Like, you already know it's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? And then for you to say, are those your real friends? What are you talking about? Yes, those are her friends.
Yeah, he's too caught up in her hypocrisy.
Yes.
And if you get caught up in that, you're gonna every person's gonna let you down a little bit.
Yeah.
Until you found the right person, and they're out there. You just got to start making your own Snapchat and Instagram stories that make her upset. But then don't do it to make her upset.
Yeah, don't do it to get back. Yeah, that was the worst advice. You gave him so much good advice, and then you fucking shot it down.
I might edit it out. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'll make it pretty in post. Yeah.
Just love yourself, dude.
Love yourself, dog. Yeah. All right. Next cue. I'm about to lose my job, and I feel like shit. What up, pod? I feel like shit. I am deeply depressed, stressed, and about to lose a job that I hate anyways, but will be left unemployed in the recession. I'm barely holding it together. I want to do something decent to not feel like a piece of shit, so I thought I'd write into you to make you both smile. You both are dank, tan, hot, jack, chillin', inspiring dank lords. Oh, man, thank you.
Thank you.
That means a lot. I hope you have a good day, make someone else smile, and I hope you can feel good. That made me feel better. This is therapeutic. I started texting random numbers, compliments from a burner app that gives you a fake number. This has become some sort of bizarre coping mechanism. I just talk to strangers or people who I hardly know, but have their contact and just say nice shit to them for a few minutes. Am I crazy or is this healthy?
No, that's good.
Yeah, it seems like a little bit of both. Am I also doing things to improve my situation? But I am quarantined alone in a small apartment in a city I just moved to with no friends nearby. That's hard, man.
All right, JT, I'm going to tell you why I agree with it. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, obviously the dude's going through some type of mental shit, right? Like
He's feeling
and I'm not saying
Yeah.
he's mentally crazy. What I'm saying is like he wants to talk to someone, but he doesn't want to talk to someone within his circle. And that's what therapy is all about, right, Chad? Like you want to go speak to somebody and let them hear how you feel and get a and you don't want them to know who the fuck you are. When you leave that office, it's done. I left all my shit in that little office there and I'm gone. Some people can't go to that office, man. Some people can't go to that damn, some people can't sit in that waiting room. So the reason why I think that's cool, that app, is because look, man, at least he's dumping some shit out. At least he's putting out some love out there, and that makes him feel good. And then if someone responds back, it makes him feel good because it's coming from a stranger. Dude, everyone has a different way of coping with shit. And if that's his way of coping with it, then power to it. I would disagree with it if he was using that app to spew out hate out there, like just randomly going, hey man, go fuck yourself, bye, and then just sending it. So I mean, yeah, it is kind of weird, but at least
No,
it's
you're
helping
right.
him
It's fucking beautiful. You're right. It's fucking beautiful. If that's how he's dealing with being sad and a little lonely, like that's a really pure and helpful way to do it. There's a million other ways that are worse. And so it's like that. I don't know. You're right. He picked a really nice way to deal with things. That's helping other people. Yeah.
Because the last thing you want to do is tell your group of friends. I mean, it's not bad to do. Because if you can't tell your group of friends that I'm sad, and they don't want to hear it, then that's not your friends. You know what I mean? But some people don't want to tell people they're fucking sad. You know what I mean? That's why they're depressed, because they're holding it in. So you need that release. And if that's his way to release without going to see a therapist, because that's hard to do too.
He said at the bottom of the email, he's seeing a therapist online, but it's not working.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, whatever he's doing, obviously he's taking the right steps. But the key word that he said is, I hate my job. And bro, I hate to be the guy giving advice, but it's like we all hate our job. It's till you find that one that you love. Like I didn't like Nordstrom Rack and I fucking hated Borders books and I hated cleaning yachts, but I loved the Laugh Factory. And I knew that's what I had to do to be able to do stage time at the Laugh Factory, because the Laugh Factory wasn't paying me shit. I had to go clean yachts for fucking corporate parties, for God's sake. So we all hate our jobs. You just got to find something you love, man. We all hate our jobs.
If you're doing a job you hate on the way to a job you like, it can make it bearable.
Exactly.
If you have a how,
find what you love.
If you have a why, you can endure any how.
Yeah. That's good. Jay, you're 2 for 2 today.
Maybe, thank you. Took a couple walks too.
Write that down, man. Have you ever tweeted that?
I think it's Viktor Frankl from Man's Search for Meaning.
Oh, you fucking asshole. I thought that was yours.
Yeah, I was going to say, he made me smile. He made me happy. So whatever he's doing, he's spreading love out there. And if it's making him feel good, he made me feel good.
Yeah.
He's spreading that energy, like the energy you were talking about,
Yeah, man.
People need that energy. And that's if that's how you got to do it these days,
I've always said that, man.
You.
When someone gives you a compliment, accept it, because it's hard for someone to say that to somebody else. And then when you reject it, one, this person just gave you free energy, and then you rejected it. Now he feels like shit, or she feels like shit, and now it's just wasted energy. Yeah, you just shut down the power plant. You took my energy and you didn't even take it. But if you take it, you feel good and I feel good. That's all all you have to say is thank you, man. You don't have to fucking tell me that my shirt's wrinkled, or, oh, look at the stain though. Are you sure? Like, yo, shut the fuck up. Someone said you look good. Just be like, thank you. I appreciate that. Now we both feel good. Now we move forward.
That was a huge lesson to take a compliment and just stand there and be like, thank you. It is hard because you just want to be like, oh, dude, well, you got such huge biceps. But you just got to stand there and just be like, thank you. And it's so much more meaningful.
Chad, you look great today.
Thank you.
Hey.
Nice.
I had that.
I feel good now
inclination.
too. That thank you made me feel good. Yeah. Thank you, dude. Thank you.
I had the inclination to be like, you look good too.
It was more powerful that you didn't. Yeah. Wow. Dude, that's nice. For this last question, this is our last cue, and so in our lingo, we say dropping dong. That's when you get naked in front of people. Yeah. And last week people asked in what the female equivalent was, and I think we suggested flashing bush. And then we felt like we were on kind of fragile on tender ground, and we didn't want to speak for the ladies. And then Chad said Del Taco, and it resonated with people.
Yeah.
But this week we have a woman wrote in and said, "Hi, Going Deep crew. A woman's take on dropping lady dong. Her version is flaunting kitty. On the most recent episode, you discussed the lady equivalent of dropping dong and ask any female listener to share their ideas. When I heard the question, my mind immediately jumped to flashing kitty. On further reflection, I thought that dropping kitty or flaunting kitty could be further improvements. I'm partial to flaunting kitty. Kitty still makes it very clear what we're all referencing, but I feel kitty has a more neutral connotation compared to the other options, similar to how dong is neutral, nor positive. Flaunting implies a little bit of swagger in the same way that dropping feels to me in dropping dong." And then she wants us to shout out her awesome husband, Patrick, who she gives much love to here. Patrick, you're a fucking legend, dude. They had a post on their wedding. He built a business to fix pockets called Keep Athletics. Check it out, guys. Yeah, he sounds like a beast, and you sound like a really nice partner as well. And so to the thrust of the initial part of the email, flashing kitty.
Yeah, man, flashing kitty.
Is she asking if we agree with that?
I think it was, yeah, I think she was just more offering it to us as maybe as our go-to, but I think that's a prime candidate for sure.
Yeah, let's go. Flashing kitty. Boom.
Well, Joe, it was like, I mean, it was amazing having you on here, dude.
Oh,
yeah, thank you.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Dude, thank you,
dude,
man.
it's great talking to you. We're huge fans, so this is an
thanks,
honor.
man.
Yeah.
That was awesome. It was nice meeting you guys.
You too.
And we'll see you afterwards, right? When the shit opens up, I'll see you at the club.
Dude, I hope so.
Yeah.
What do you think? Are the clubs going to be, what are they going to be like when it opens up again? It's going to be like
I don't know, but I
thing,
made a
right?
promise. I made a promise to the improvs that I would donate some shows back to them so that they can recoup
Oh, that's great.
a tad. You know what I
You're
mean?
a
So,
beast.
yeah, man. They gave me my life. They gave me my livelihood. So I have to give back.
How soon do you think Joe Rogan will be back?
I don't think he's ever leaving. He aired tomorrow. He airs tomorrow.
But he's going to be in Texas, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. What do you? Oh, you mean physically?
When do you think he'll move back to LA?
Oh man, that's personal with him. But
right.
But I mean,
I thought we were betting on it like it was like a sports thing.
Oh no. I thought you were like, he's gone. He ain't leaving. That dude's coming strong tomorrow. It's gonna be huge tomorrow.
I guess I was trying to lead the witness so that you would put because I wanted to like suggest that everyone will come back to LA.
Oh,
that's kind of my hope.
That's so funny. I think we're looking into it too deep. LA's fine, man. I think people are just taking a break, and we need. But
everyone's talking about leaving. It's kind of freaking me out.
Until it opens up, and then they're coming right back. This is the
That's
Mecca.
what I'm saying. Yeah,
this is the Mecca, dude. You know what? You want to do something? You want to gamble? Buy some property. How's that?
Yeah, nice. Let's go. H-word.
Yeah, for sure. I love you guys.
Yeah, love you too, man.
Love you too, man.
002 till I die. No, that's
there we
wrong
go.
address. That's Wyoming.
Yeah,
90048. That's
there you go. There you go. Jesus Christ.
Not very deep in my bloodlines, I guess. Yeah.
So you got is it 3 specials on Netflix right now?
Yeah, I got
3?
Coming in hot. Oh, I got live from Seattle. Yo, I didn't get Live from Seattle wasn't given to me by Netflix. You know that, right?
Oh, really? Yeah.
I fucking paid for that, bro. They said no to me 5 times. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Dude, I'm selling out improvs left and right, selling 18 shows in a row. Shit, every improv across the country, I was packing it out, man. And then I was trying to get on Netflix, and it's not like they didn't say they didn't want it. They were just like, we're booked for this year, and I was just like, I need to be in this group of specials, which was 2017 roster. I was like, I need to be in this. And they were just like, well, we'll see you next year because we're kind of full. And I was like, all right, well, let me shoot it myself. And I went and shot it myself. So Live from Seattle is 100% all mine. Everything from the venue to the thing behind me, to the, you know what I mean? To the audience filling, the directors, the producers, the lighting guy. I paid for all that shit, man.
But now they've given you like 3 specials on top of that, right?
They almost didn't buy Live from Seattle until we submitted it to them. And then they were like, okay, we'll buy it. And then they paid me back for it. But if I did, I had an option, I could have went, when they didn't want to buy that special, I mean, when they said that they weren't going to do a special with me, I could have went the bad route. I could have went on Twitter and like, yo, fuck Netflix. I've been doing this 27 years and they don't want to give me a special. Fuck Netflix. Everyone cancel their subscriptions. I could have done that.
Monique.
Yeah.
Or, well, I'm not saying that, dude.
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying me personally,
I
like
know.
everyone has an obstacle. Yeah. Everyone has an obstacle in front of them, and it's up to you on how you want to deal with that obstacle. And I chose to go around it and pay for the special myself and bring it to them. I believed in my product so much that I was like, fuck this, man. I'm gonna shoot it and show them. And I gave it to them, and next thing you know, they bought it from me. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have got coming in hot. I wouldn't have got in his elements. And I got another one. I'm getting ready to shoot it right after this. So 2021, I'm gonna shoot my 4th.
That's great. To it. Yeah.
I love you guys.
Love you too.
Love you too, man.
It was really fun. Thank you, Joe.
I love hearing your story too. It's so inspirational. I mean, the drive and hustle and belief in yourself to get there is really, I think it's gonna be great for our listeners to hear about too.
Dude, I appreciate it.
I love crying, man. When's the last time you cried?
Yesterday.
Dude, I love it. Yeah. You got to clear out the hopper. Clear the hopper,
man.
Right?
Let it out, bro.
Out. Yeah. All right, well, if you ever want to cry, just come back on the pod, dude. We're here for you. We'll cry with you, dog.
Let's go.
You guys can teach me. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Dude,
I try, man.
Keep watching Manchester by the Sea.
I have moments where I'm like, this is a time when you should cry.
Yeah. And then it doesn't happen.
No.
That's more powerful though. When someone yearns to cry, I think that's more human than crying.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's deep. That's deep.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah, to feel that desire, that's real shit.
Yeah.
Dude, thank you.
Real
shit.
Hey, it's working.
You hear it?
Yes, on both sides. You gave positive energy and he accepted it, and I love it.
That's the whole deal. Yeah.
I love you guys.
Love you too.
Love you too.
Have a good day.
Bye,
Thanks
guys.
for coming on.
Thank you.
That was cool.
That was great.
Yeah. He's a beast.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
That hustle too is just.
Chad, what's your beef of the week?
My beef of the week is sea salt corrosion. So I was taking off my wetsuit 3 days ago, pulling the zipper pulls right off because of the sea salt. And, it's, and I called Rip Curl. I'm like, can I get this fixed now? And they're like, well, you got to send it to Rip Curl and then they're going to quarantine it for 2 weeks. And I'm like, dude, like it's simple things like that. You take your wetsuit for granted, you take like your car for granted. You take, Xbox Live for granted. You take, your pubes growing back for granted, and nothing's guaranteed. So that was just a reminder, to take better care of my things. I think that was kind of inevitable. Maybe I just don't have a hose here, so maybe I could have hosed it off more, but I just didn't have the means to do it. But my zipper ripped off, and it looks like I'm gonna have to get a new wetsuit. So yeah, that's my beef. Just I guess things just breaking down over time, and it's like you don't want to create more waste in the world, but then you got to get back in the water, and you got to so. Yeah, it's just, I guess I just wish there was more sturdiness in terms of things.
Completely. Dude, two things. The photo that Caroline took of you when you were calling the wetsuit company, fantastic. Like, I could feel the importance in the photo. I was like, oh, dude, Chad's on it.
Yeah.
This is serious shit.
Oh, like a puff bar?
Yeah. You looked like Gordon Gekko dealing with an issue in Wall Street. Yeah. And then
I wasn't a big fan of the photo. I'm like, I look horrible.
No, I loved it. It
That's nice to see.
Yeah, it was so authentic. Yeah. And then, dude, the thing you're saying about waste, like I was just talking to Ferraro about it today after we worked out, like, that's an important detail that it was after we worked out. And he was just talking about how crazy it is that we, like every Wednesday, we just bring our trash out. And my mom has 4 4x4 cubes for trash. And we just bring that out every week and just dump it off. It's like humans we just waste a lot of stuff. And we have one can for recycling that makes us feel good. We're like, oh, we're recycling. But then he told me that Orange County's recycling department is so backed up that they're throwing a lot of that recycling just into regular waste.
Are they really?
That's what he said. Yeah, I trust.
I know.
him.
It is insane the amount of waste. It's you take the trash out every Wednesday. You know, my trash can fills up after like 3 days. You know, I just emptied my recycling today, and there's already shit in it.
And it's normal for us. We're just like, yeah, we just get rid of a lot of trash. I didn't even think about it until he brought it up today. I was totally oblivious to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's nuts. It's like how do you stop that? Because it's like it's so ingrained in our lives, you know. People are like, oh, you got to be resourceful. You got to conserve your waste, and you're like, that's nice in theory, but when you actually try to do it,
it's tough.
It sucks balls.
Yeah. Got to step up. Yeah. I mean, I probably won't, but you got to step up. Who's ever listening to this, be better than me. Step up. Yeah. I'll step up if you step up. Send me some photos of you doing it. I'm competitive. You just got to turn it into a competition.
Yeah.
You know, if we were like keeping tabs on how much our bros were conserving every week, and whoever conserved the most got mass respect within the crew, then I'd be like, all right, this shit's serious now.
That would be interesting.
My dog's respect has to be at stake for me to get super fired up and motivated.
If you treat conserving like CrossFit.
Yeah, exactly. And make it a little performative. I'm a performer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I perform better when someone's watching.
Yeah.
I read better when someone's around me. I'll read more. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like if I'm in a group and I have a book, I'll read more. That's why I read the most books when I was with my parents, because I'd just be like, I just tune out and read a book and they wouldn't get mad because they're like, he's reading. That's good. And
that's interesting.
Crush. Yeah. But when I'm by myself, it's really hard. Yeah.
I'm the opposite.
Yeah. No, I know. You work so well by yourself. It's really enviable.
Yeah.
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 I can't do it. I suck at it. Or I could do it, but I'm not as good at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even type when someone else is watching.
Yeah, typing's hard.
Yeah.
Typing's a hard one to do. If someone's over your shoulder when you're typing, you're like, are you trying to fucking break me down? Are you just trying to destroy me? Yeah.
Oh, man.
Aaron, what's your beef for the week?
Why do they need to quarantine your wetsuit? Can't they just leave it in the sun?
I don't know. I mean, you know, I'm all for safety, but that was one of the more absurd things I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Like,
it's gonna quarantine as long as you would have to if you delivered it.
Yeah. I'm like,
get your wetsuit COVID tested. Dude, you might have to turn that off, dog. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, my vibrate doesn't work.
Can you get your wetsuit COVID tested?
I could try. I could bring it, you know, there's a urgent care right here. So I could bring it in.
It's wet, you can swab it. That's what I always say.
Yeah. Yeah.
What would you do if it came back positive? Would you still like hug it afterwards, or would you stay away?
I'd probably quarantine it on my balcony.
No,
you know, just till, because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to be like one of those guys who's just like, you know, dude, you got to get out of here.
Right.
You know, if it's sick, you know, I want to take care of it. And just, you know, sort of like, sort of like when people are like properly, you know, if they have like a grandparent in like a nursing home, they like talk to them through the window. Yeah. I would just look at it through the window and then quietly buy a new one. And then, you know, and then sort of just, maybe when it's not looking, light it on fire.
You go surfing with the other one and then come back and your wetsuit's like, where were you? And I was like, I just went to get some food. I was over there one. Yeah. It's like, well, you smell like sea salt.
Yeah. I know it's tough. I mean, just like Joe was talking about with like breaking off relationships, you know, I'm working on it where I just got to like, you know, throw the wetsuit in the dumpster, but I don't know. It's tough.
You're still having sex with it. I get it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've pissed on it so many times.
In it or on it?
Pissed in it. Sometimes I'll pee on it, you know, if it's flat for a while, just to like let it know, you know, like I'm still here.
Right.
And you're still mine.
Yeah.
But it has so much pee on it. Yeah.
My friend Richard used to shit in them.
Dude, you know, I don't think I'm there yet with mine. But
he was weird. It was like it
was like a fetish.
He was from NorCal.
Right. Yeah, I've heard that about them.
Aaron, what's your beef of the week?
My beef of the week is with militias.
Yeah, I hear you.
Dude.
That was actually going to be my beef, and I was like, I went to something gentler, but I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, you're not cops.
And
No one needs
you know what's scary about them is how good they are. It scares me how effective they are at fighting and how good they are with guns.
They're
they're
great at
having
organizing.
Yeah, they're so well trained, and it genuinely scares me. I'm like, and I think if you're that well trained, you're going to look for opportunities to show off your training.
100%. That's the whole thing about having an assault rifle or something like that. You're going to want to use it. You're going to want to show it off. That's why I can't have one. That's for sure. Because that's exactly what I would do. But yeah, just if there's a protest in a city around you or across state lines, that city doesn't need you to protect a gas station.
My beef of the week is with lobster rolls. I've never seen something that looks like when you hear about a lobster roll, like the first time I went to Boston or Cape Cod and people were like, you got to have a lobster roll. And when I heard about it, I was like, that's going to be amazing. And when I saw it at the restaurant, like on their little pictures of the food thing, I was like, that's going to be amazing. And then I tasted a lobster roll and I was like, this is trash. And I thought maybe it was the place I was at, but every lobster roll I've had since then, I haven't enjoyed. And I don't know, it's something about the sandwich is too cold and the lobster doesn't really taste as good as lobster should, especially since it's lobster. You know, you got high expectations for lobster. And I don't know. I know a lot of people like them, but I think they just like the idea of them. I don't think it works as an actual dish. And I'll go one step further now that I'm just burning the whole fucking, culinary world down. I don't think French onion soup works either.
What?
It sounds good. It looks good, but I don't think it tastes good. That's me, dog. But hey,
dude, I was with you on the shellfish because I was like, you know what, like shellfish, it should, in my opinion, crab, lobster, should only be eaten by itself with butter.
Thank you for that part. Yeah, thank you.
But French onion dip, dude.
Come with it.
Wait, did you say French onion soup?
French onion dips, French onion soup.
I mean, I just don't think you've had the right French onion soup, my friend.
Dude, I've had it everywhere, brother. I'm trying to like it. I get it everywhere.
Go to like Connecticut or something. There's one place in Connecticut where they give you, scissors to cut the cheese. It's like that thick.
That's fun.
Wow.
That's fun. But is it good?
Yeah. It's the best thing of all time. It's like one of my favorite things to eat.
Okay.
Dude,
I trust you. I trust you.
I'm just
I love
saying.
how we both have our hands up.
Bro,
I hear you.
Bro,
I hear
I'm
you.
just saying.
I'm not saying you're not saying it. I hear you. You're right.
Yeah, I gotta take umbrage.
Dude, protect your guy. Look out for your guy. I get it.
Yeah.
That French onion dip's your guy. French onion soup. Why do I keep calling it French onion dip? Oh, French dip. Yeah.
French dip.
I'm doing a portmanteau of those.
Are you talking about French dip sandwiches?
No, I'm talking about. I meant
French onion soup,
but I'm confusing it with French dips, which I love. If I was, that could be my baby of the week next week, because I already got the other two booked out. But yeah, French onion dip, French dip. Jesus.
There's so much French in dip and onions.
Shelly sells seashells down by the seashore.
She sells seashells down by the seashore.
You're so good at it, dude. Dude, what about, I need a proper cup of coffee from a proper copper coffee cup.
I need a proper cup of coffee from a proper cup of coffee cup. Did I do it?
Dude, you killed it.
I've been working on them.
Have you been working on them?
Yeah, I mumble.
Yeah, I don't mumble that much. You're pretty articulate. Yeah.
Well, I used to mumble.
Interesting.
But now I don't.
Beast. You're a worker, dog. I know it. What are you eating a tangerine?
I ate one, yeah.
Those are so good. Best Led Zeppelin song too. Chad, what's your who's your baby of the week?
My baby of the week is Luna again, my mom's dog. Yeah, so it wasn't looking good for her last week. She had like fluid in her lungs, so they gave her like the full dose of chemo, like 100%. And I don't really know what that means, but they're like, this is the most we can get. And it wasn't looking good. My mom was like, it might be too much chemo for her, and she might not be able to survive the side effects. But as of 2 days ago, the fluid is gone, and she was just lethargic and nauseous. But my mom took her on a walk yesterday, and she went on a full walk and didn't want to stop walking. So I think she's pulling through for now, but it's been a roller coaster. But it's tough when it's just, it's a beautiful golden retriever, and it's just like, it's only like 5 years old, and it's like Monday and Tuesday, I was just like, it's tough to get out of bed. I was so bummed.
Right.
But looks like she's gonna pull through for now. So just holding on for her.
That's awesome.
Yeah, my mom was happy too. Yeah, my mom was, when she finally came home, because she was in like a ICU, and then she got to come home, and my mom FaceTime, and my mom was so happy. A lot of it was just how upset my mom was too. It's all tough, but then my mom FaceTimed me when Luna was home, and she was so happy. So it fired me right back up.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Aaron, who's your baby of the week?
My babe of the week is Andy Samberg.
Yeah.
Nice.
Finally saw Palm Springs. Really enjoyed it. And then I noticed something about him that I've never noticed before. Is he has a dimpled chin.
Yeah.
And kind of this pretty solid jaw. And I saw in him in that moment that he should be the next Fletch.
Oh, yeah. Are they redoing that?
I mean, they're always talking about it, but I think because of that dimpled chin and that kind of longish face, reminded me of Chevy Chase at his peak. And I was like, that's the dude. That's the guy who should be doing it if they're going to do it.
My baby of the week is my barbell. I just got a barbell in the mail. I put 2 posts up about it on my story yesterday. I deleted both because I got self-conscious. But I really do just love it so much. I haven't lifted a barbell in like 6 months, and then to just do deadlifts with it and then hang cleans. I'm just going to take you through my whole workout, and then front squats and then bench. Like, to just do bench with the bar. I mean, that's just, it connects me to the earth and to the universe in a way that very few things do. I really feel like I'm in my purpose when I'm benching. Because from a young age, you're always hearing, what's your bench? What do you bench? Then you start doing bench and you get the thrill of it. And now to come back to it after having such a long break, it just reminds you of like what's important in life. And for me, those lifts are just fundamental to me being happy. And it was, I was working out with this guy Grady, and he's such a beast, and he's such a great guy. And we're talking about our feelings, and we're talking about dating, and we're talking about death, and then we're putting 275 on the bar, and we're strapping it up and getting it to our hips, and you're just feeling every muscle in your neck tense, and he's pushing you. He's like, come on, go heavier. You can give me 2 more reps. I'm not going to do those reps if he's not there. And it's just, it just makes me so happy. Yeah. So my barbell, it's a beautiful barbell from Power Systems. So come over anytime, come take a gander at it. Yeah. And then Ferraro chalked it up today. He put chalk all over it. He's like, oh, you can clean it. And I'm like, you know what? It's going to get dirty. Let it get dirty. It's like in Gangs of New York, he says you leave the blood on the blade. I leave the powder on my bar. It's history.
That fires me up.
Thank you. I was a little self-conscious there for a second.
No, I mean, I connected so deeply to, when you're doing squats, when you're doing bench, when you feel your feet pressing into the ground because there's so much weight.
Yes.
It's a great feeling.
You're closer to the core of the earth, and you're feeling the energy from there, and you're connected to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what's pushing the fucking bar up.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Who's your legend of the week, Chad?
Well, in a similarly, Jason Statham's pull-ups and death race.
Dude, they're so badass.
I mean, my dad went to see that movie because of that in the trailer. Because my dad loves pull-ups so much, he's like, Chad, watch Jason Statham do those pull-ups. Look at those muscles bulging. And I was like, yeah, I get it. And the way he does them, it just like, it's so badass where, he's got the head down a little bit and he's just squeezing the muscles and just like everything's just lighting up. And, And honestly, it's probably a pretty unnecessary scene. Like they just threw that in there.
Yeah,
You know, it wasn't like fundamental to the story, but it made the movie.
exactly.
It
It's like
made the movie.
unnecessary by like screenwriting, storytelling fundamentals, but
Yeah.
super important from just we're people watching a movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in the
Yeah.
town, Ben Affleck's hitting some pull-ups. in the
Right,
town.
dude. Huge.
I needed that scene. When I saw him, how jacked he got for that movie, I was like, yes, thank
Yeah.
you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I think I wonder if Jason like was like, I'll do this movie if I get a pull-up scene, or if the director was like, he's like, we got Jason, we need to do a pull-up scene.
I hope the director was a good director and knew that and was like,
Yeah.
I need Jason. He can do pull-ups the best.
Right.
Like they were like, hey, we got David Harbour, you know, the cop from Stranger Things. And he was like, he's a great actor,
Yeah.
but he can't do pull-ups like Jason.
Yeah.
And then he's like, we got to course correct.
Dude, totally.
Top
I don't know
5
why I had
pull-up
to
scene.
flag Harbour there.
Top 5 pull-up scene?
Yeah, Will Smith, I Am Legend.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very
dude.
good one. Very good
yes.
De
Good call.
Niro, Cape Fear.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Clooney in The American, maybe not top 5, but just another one I thought of. What's another good pull-up one? Ooh, Gerard Butler in one of the Lara Croft Tomb Raiders.
Oh, really?
They come into his prison cell, and he's banging out pull-ups.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that.
And he's getting a little
Dude.
extreme with it.
I forgot Daniel Craig is in the first Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
And he shows his ass.
Yeah, he's a little too skinny in that one. I like when he beefed up for Royale.
Yeah.
I like my D. Craig with a little more meat on his bones.
Yeah. Yeah, like D. Craig and Layer Cake. I like how toned he is in that, I gotta say.
He's beefing up. He's heading in the right direction there, but we're not at ideal Craig yet. But those eyes
Yeah.
in the shower scene, they're just piercing. Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
really pretty blues. Yeah,
Yeah.
man, I really fetishize the male body.
Yeah, I know. Dude. Me too.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, Brad Pitt and Troy is like, you
the
know,
best.
when he post beach battle scene where he's taking off his armor, he's like, I've seen the gods. You know, it's just like, dude.
He's so cocky with Rose Byrne. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I was reading.
Oh, that's Rose Byrne.
Isn't that crazy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I was reading Time magazine and they did a piece on Troy, and the shot was when Brad Pitt's riding the horse on his chariot and his
To go
arms are
fight.
going down like this. And I was
Yeah.
so obsessed with the photo and his
Yeah.
deltoid and bicep and tricep definition. I swear I sat in cultural geography for 5 minutes just staring at that photo. And I was
Yeah.
like, how can I get there? Yeah.
Yeah.
But at some point you realize that's just Brad Pitt.
Yeah, that's a tough thing to accept.
I mean, I have to accept it every day. Every day there's a yearning in me that wants to fight against it. And then I just have to be like, dude, he's just a special bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Sometimes
like to
Yeah.
I like to believe in this theory that, you know, it's like we're all one, you know? Like we all come from the universe. We're all one collective consciousness, and we're just the universe experiencing itself. Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
So basically, we get to be every person on in existence
You are Brad Pitt.
throughout time. So we will be Brad Pitt
Nice.
because time is a flat circle, you know. Or I don't know if it's flat circle. Time is
It's a flat circle.
yeah, it's a flat
Yeah.
circle. So we either have been Brad Pitt or we will be Brad Pitt,
I hope
according
it's
to
in my
that theory.
future. I hope it's in my future.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got a lot to look forward to then.
Yeah, and the thing about that bums me out is like there's so many people that you'd want to be like, oh, dude, that'd be pretty sick to be like Daniel Craig or Jason Statham. But then, you know, how do you like stay locked in? Where you're like, you know, you just tell the universe like, dude, I just want to kind of just keep doing this over and over.
Right. Like if you don't want to leave the iteration you're in, that's a little tough. You
Yeah.
can't get too connected or you can't be too territorial about
Yeah.
your corporeal existence because it's very fleeting. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta be ready to go from D. Craig to Hugh Jackman to Benicio del Toro. I mean, that's just the way things happen. You gotta flow through all these A-list actors.
They're like, dude, come on. I mean, you're gonna be fucking, you know, Orlando Bloom next, and you're like, it's not as good as Brad Pitt.
You're like, can I make different choices after Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, sorry.
Yeah.
They're like, you have to do I don't even know what movies he did after that besides Kingdom of Heaven and
The entirely awful Elizabethtown.
yes, that wasn't disaster.
Mhm.
They fired Ashton Kutcher from that movie for Orlando Bloom, and then he's back.
Wow.
There's no saving it.
That's true.
It's real
Poor
bad.
Cameron Crowe.
There's and on top of that, I'm just gonna throw this out there. Katy Perry seems kind of annoying.
Whoa, big.
Wow.
Aaron, what do you think about that?
I mean, it may be annoying, but I'd enjoy the ride.
Yeah, but you know
yeah.
what? Chad, I got to be honest. I watched a part of her documentary, and I had that takeaway. I didn't find her to be. I love that album that she did, the one with California Girls and Last Friday Night. I talked about it on here like 2 weeks ago. That's like one of the best albums of all time. It's got, Last Friday Night, Teenage Dream, California Girls. It's just all bangers, but I agree with you. Yeah.
Sorry, Katie, if you're listening.
Sorry, Katie. We'd love to have you on the pod.
Yeah, I love California Girls.
Such a banger.
And
Yeah.
Teenage Dream. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Aaron, who's your legend of the week?
My legend of the week is a donut shop in Highland Park known as Donut Friend.
Oh, cool.
Have you guys been?
No, it sounds good.
Do it. Do it as soon as you can. It's open right now. Carry out only, obviously. It was started by former pop punk producer Mark Trombino, who worked with Blink-182 and Jimmy Eat World. So obviously, I'm right in there. It's in Highland Park. There's a location downtown now as well. But just such amazing donuts. We had them at our wedding because we're such big fans of it. And we just went back for our 4-year anniversary. They got like glazed donuts with peanut butter and jelly in between them.
Wow.
They're all named after bands, which is cool too. But it's just unbelievable. You gotta go there. It rivals Voodoo in Portland.
Really?
And that's saying a lot.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I gotta try both. That is nice. My legend of the week is Chadwick Boseman. Actor who passed away tragically. It's really interesting too because he didn't tell anybody he was sick. Yeah, we're hitting the Wakanda Forever hand gesture now. I've been really feeling that too. Like it really put into perspective how special that film was and how special his performance was. Because he really did play it with like all the words people have used. It's so regal, it's so noble, and he really did just feel like a king in it. And he brought so much grace to it. And then he did the same thing with all these huge historical figures that also had like a lot of grace and honor to them, like Jackie Robinson and Thurgood Marshall. And it's he left
James
behind
Brown.
a great and James Brown. He left behind a great body of work, and the way that he was sick and didn't tell anybody about it is really I don't know what the word is, but it's powerful. It's powerful that he did that, and it makes all the choices he made after that powerful. Like doing the 5 Bloods, and it's all about how his old war buddies remember him. Like to think that he was sick when that was happening. I mean, it must have really meant a lot to him to play a character that's in people's memories, and yeah, just added weight and gravity to all of his choices, and it seems like he lived a very intentional life, and I like Chadwick Boseman a lot, but I didn't think about him all the time. And then when he passes away, you're like, oh my God, like he was a big part of my life. Like I really did like him and admire him and care about him, and I'm sad he's gone. 43 in the prime of his life, looks super healthy, and it's just a reminder that it comes for all of us. Death doesn't care who you are. It's sometimes right around the corner for anybody, and so that's a powerful thing to be reminded of too. And so I'm grateful for that as well. But yeah, Chadwick Boseman, you were a great actor. I loved watching you and stuff. You got to be in Black Panther, which is one of the movies of our generation for sure. And that was crystallized in your passing. And just hearing the way his coworkers talked about him too, like hearing Coogler talk about him. And I just watched like a super cut of all his old co-stars talking about him. It's just high praise from everybody. And he sounded like he really took his job seriously. And it mattered to him that stuff be done well. So yeah, I hope you're in a better place, and yeah, rest in peace, rest in love, rest in power. Yeah.
Yeah, so tragic. Yeah, we were. Aaron actually informed us of that. It was so
Right.
unexpected.
Yeah.
And it was the same way. I remember I was at a gym in West Hollywood, and one of our buddies was there. And he's like, "Dude, Chadwick Boseman was lifting weights in there." And I'm like, "Really?" Yeah, and he just like he's like, and the whole thing about it was like, from the way I never saw him, but the way like our friend sort of described him, he was just like, you could tell by his behavior that he was just a very humble, good dude, if that makes sense. Like he didn't
Totally.
talk to him, but just by the way he was at the gym, just very respectful and just humble and just down to earth, and just yeah, that kind of stuck with me because I was, you know, because yeah, it seemed like he was just a guy who was really kind and genuine to everyone and just cared about his, doing good work and being a good person.
Yeah, he was like
Dude.
aware of his status, and
Mhm.
he didn't hold it over people. He tried to like live up to it, which
Yeah.
Because was it Abby you were talking to?
No, it was I forget his name now. He's the guy who moved to Seattle who dated like Courtney Sherman.
Oh, John McKay.
John McKay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
May
him and
cut that out.
Yeah, for sure. John McKay, him and Abby were trading stories, and they said that one time he was in the gym. They were trading stories on Instagram, and I was reading them. They
Oh,
said,
really?
Yeah, they said one time Chadwick was in there, and everyone on like the treadmills started hitting him with Wakanda's Forever, and he gave one to the whole gym. And like, did the whole thing.
Oh, I haven't seen. Whose Instagram is it on?
It was on McKay's and Abby's. They were both talking about it. They just talked. They had all these great stories about him in the gym, just being
really?
awesome to people when they were like, because it was right after Black Panther came out, so people were just rushing him with, asking him to do all this stuff, and they were like, no, he'd hit it for everybody.
Yeah. Interesting. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it was heartening. It was really nice to see.
Yeah, one of the
Chad-
first movies my wife and I watched together was 42. And if that movie had sucked, who knows? So thank you for being good.
Right. Yeah, it's hard to give a negative review to that movie too. It's like, what'd you think? It's like, yeah, whatever.
There's like Aaron, you're like, hey, do you want to go on a second date? I'm like, nah, the movie sucked.
Chad, what's your quote of the week?
Okay, mine is from Brad Pitt in True Romance. He plays Floyd.
Yeah.
Hey, get some beer and some cleaning products. That's it.
Nice. Aaron, what's your quote of the week?
My quote of the week is another Jimmy Eat World lyric. It's from a song called Through on the album Integrity Blues. It's basically just the first verse. Sounds so great, everything you're saying. Do lies out loud change anything? Go get mad, have a child's tantrum, till everyone knows how wronged you've been. Now that could read as a breakup song, but it could also be about Donald Trump. So I like it for that reason. Because the album didn't come out in 2016.
My quote of the week is I was on Chad's YouTube, and you've been watching so much history stuff on Greek mythology because I put the video up on the YouTube, and so I get your suggestions for a while, and so I started getting all these history suggestions, and I started watching them. It was so fun. And then one was on Napoleon, the famous French general and leader's war tour through Europe, and his brilliant strategy at Austerlitz. That's like the peak of his strategy in battle, and it's really a good watch on YouTube. I recommend it to everyone. But he has this line when they're going into the battle, and his men are tired, and they don't know if they should keep pushing through. And he goes, "Let's finish this war with a thunderclap."
That's good stuff.
Yeah, I was like, nice, dude. That's a good line, Napoleon.
Yeah.
Good for you, dog. Chad, what's your phrase of the week for getting after it?
Oh, I had it. It was from. Here we go. It's from 300. Earn these shields, boys!
Nice.
Yeah.
Then we will fight in the shade. Real line you were saying.
That is a real line. Yeah, Spartans had good comebacks.
Love that, dude.
Yeah, we'll fight in the
Remarks
shade.
when you're in danger, the most badass thing ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll fight in the shade.
That's like I like Justified. Justified, he has great lines when he's like in
Yeah.
danger. And
Yeah.
he's like, hey, you owe me a cowboy hat. Some guy's like wearing his cowboy hat. He's like, and if we fight again, this time I'd be sober. Yeah, that's cool. Aaron, what's your phrase of the week for getting after it?
Jo Koy would do it.
Jo Koy would do it.
Mm.
My phrase of the week for getting after it is from Noah Baumbach's first movie, Kicking and Screaming, which is about like really witty college kids who are graduating and they're kind of rudderless and they're kind of trapped by their wittiness. Like it's how they feel good about themselves, but it keeps them from progressing. And the wittiest of them all, the character played by Chris Eigeman, he says, "I'm nostalgic for conversations I had yesterday." And recently I've been really nostalgic for things like that are just right in the rear view. And I'm like, oh, I get that. Yeah.
No, it makes it, dude. I was nostalgic for like 4th of July the other day.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, just like just like because I know when that month was happening, like 4th of July was happening. You know, I was like consciously like I need to like appreciate this moment. You know,
Right.
Because not only was it a great month, but also on top of that, it's just like July. July's like the best month. It's so awesome. You know what I mean?
It is the best month. I think I'm happiest
Yeah.
during July.
Yeah.
And it's good that you appreciate it because it's the hottest.
Yeah.
And it's like you're the most in summer at that point. Because when you're in
Oh.
August, school's coming back.
Yeah.
You can see the end of it. But when you're
Yeah.
in July, you're like fat in the middle of summer.
It's so good.
It's the best. No doubt.
So good. Yeah.
No diggity. No doubt. Dude, all right. I think that's it.
Sweet.
If you need advice,